fine at home. Last time we have started one very interesting story. Already we have completed the story, but there are few things yet we have to complete. Okay, so we have completed the complete story, Stone Soup. It's very interesting, isn't it? So today we are taking the fourth lecture of the same, conflict in a story. Here conflict means nothing but a problem, okay, or a climax in a story. The point by which the complete story got changed, okay, or it became more interesting. So let's check what is conflict in a story. So today's aim or the aim of this particular lesson is to identify different types of conflicts in story. Once we complete this particular section, you will be able to identify different types of conflicts in story. And for the same, we need these resources. We need one notebook, an Exceed content book. The important words which we are going to check in the story or in this particular lecture, they are conflict, character versus society, nature and self. So are you ready? Let's start the lesson. First, before we actually start conflict in a story or the point conflict in a story, let's quick let's quickly check what happened last time or the things which we have completed last time. So let's have a quick recap. In the last lecture we have completed action, we have seen the rising action part, we have completed climax also. What does it mean by climax, that we have seen. Next, falling action. After climax the story gets end, so how it take place, so that is falling action. And last is resolution, that also we have seen. So these are the important points which we have covered in the previous three lectures. So let's start the actual point or today's learning plan number 4, conflict in a story. Let's begin. So today we are going to see what is the turning point of a story. Let's start one by one. Okay, so can you tell me what is the turning point of the story? We have already seen the story, so how the story got changed or it became more interesting? So the simple answer is the climax is the turning point of the story. And here in the story the climax was that the soldiers decided to make stone soup. Okay, and because of that the story got changed. All the villagers they started helping by giving barley, various other food grain. Some of them they had brought meat also. So the climax is the real turning point of the story. What do we call the action that happens before the climax? Okay, do you have any idea? In the second lesson we have seen that, yes, the action that happens before the climax is called the rising action. In the previous lecture itself we had seen one particular image in which we had seen these 3 points. First one was rising action, after that the highest point was climax, and the third point was falling action, correct? So here the simple question is, what do we call the action that happens before the climax? The action that happens before the climax is called the rising action. It is called as the rising action. Now what do we call the action that happens after the climax? Okay, we had only two actions. One was a rising action that we have already seen now, and the last one was, it is nothing but a falling action. Okay, the action that happened after the climax is called the falling action. Correct, it is called as a falling action. Where is the problem introduced and solved in the plot of the story? Where is the problem introduced? I think you have read the story completely. Okay, so it's a very simple story with a very strong message. So the answer is, the problem is introduced in the rising action and solved in the falling action. It is very simple. Okay, rising action, where the soldiers came to that particular village and they asked for some food and place for sleeping. Okay, after that, climax was simply when the soldiers decided to make stone soup. Okay, so that was the climax of the story. And after that, falling action, they prepared the soup and they gave the soup to all the villagers also. Okay, so that is the falling action. Correct, I hope you have understood this much. Now let's take one example and try to understand the types of conflict. Today we are going to see the types of conflicts. They are character versus character, character versus self, character versus society, and the last one, character versus nature. So let's take the story first. With the help of this story, we'll try to understand what does it mean by plot, how story can be made interesting. All these things we'll see with the help of this story. So the story is like this. Now listen carefully. Rita and Summer are best friends. Rita and Summer, they are best friends. They love to share everything, their happiness, their sorrows, and also their things. They go to school together in the morning and play tennis together in the evening. They hope their friendship never ends. They hope their friendship never ends. So, do you think anything interesting in this story? How is the story? Just read it once again if you want. The story is a description about two friends. The story is simple description about two friends and what they like to do with each other. There is nothing exciting happening in the story. To bring in excitement, we need to have a problem in the story. So there must be climax in the story. So the climax part is missing. Can you see in the story, is there anything like something surprising has happened? No, there is nothing such. Only good things are there. When you want to see any movie, can you see all the time only good things are happening in the story? No, villain will come, accidents happen, and some fighting scenes are there. So all these interesting things are there. Then and then only the movie becomes very successful or popular. Like that only in the story, there should be rising action, at the same time there should be a climax and falling action. So when there is a combination of these three, the story become very interesting. So let's check one more example. Now we'll make this story more interesting. See how. Okay, are you ready? Just listen carefully. We'll make the same story more interesting. How? Rita and Samar both have younger brothers who study in the same class. They don't like each other. One day, Samar's brother hit Rita's brother. Oh, Rita complained to Samar against his younger brother, but he refused to listen to her. Your brother must have done something wrong, said Samar. Rita was shocked and left her room in anger. She decided not to talk to him ever again. Okay, so how is the story? In the story, there is a rising action as well as falling action also. Okay, so here both in the story, both Rita and Summer think their brothers are right. This has given rise to a conflict in the story. There is a climax in the story. Conflict means there is a problem in the story or the climax, some surprising thing happens. A conflict is the tension between two opposing forces. Here the two opposing forces are the two characters of the story. They are Rita and Summer. So how is the story? Yes, now it has become very interesting. So I hope you must have understood, if you want to write any story, there must be some conflict in the story. Some surprising element should be there. Okay. So now we'll just try to understand the types of conflict one by one. Okay, there are various types of conflict. So what was the conflict in Stone Soup, the story which we have completed recently? What was the conflict in Stone Soup? Okay, so can you tell me? The conflict was very simple. The conflict in Stone Soup was that villagers were not willing to share their food with the soldiers. From here the story had started. Correct? Second, what was the opposing force against the soldiers in the story? What was the opposing force? Okay, you must have seen that the villagers' attitude was the opposing force that the soldiers had to overcome in the story. Nobody was ready to help them, though they had sufficient food, they were not ready to give or to share the same with the soldiers, that we have seen. Okay, so their negative attitude or the opposing attitude was the real problem. Okay, what type of conflict is this? What type of conflict is this? Is this a rising conflict, or sorry, is this a character versus character or character versus self? No, this type of conflict is called as character versus character conflict. First one is the correct one. How? Because to the one side there are soldiers, to other side there are all the villagers. Okay, all the villagers are there, and one side soldiers and one side villagers, means character versus character. Here people are against people, not against any situation but against the people. Okay, so such type of conflict are known as or called as character versus character conflict. Understood? I hope you have understood the same. Very nice. Okay, now let's check another type of conflict. Okay, so just read these two lines. Okay, can you just read this? It's a dialogue from a story. You have to just identify what the character is trying to overcome. It was a stormy night with lashing rain. I must not let this weather stop me from saving my princess, thought the prince. Okay, so who is trying to overcome what? What is this type of conflict? Can you answer me? Just check. Who is trying to overcome what? What is the type of conflict? Can you just see? The prince is trying to overcome rain, since thought the prince. Okay, it's a main character. The prince is trying to overcome rain, which is nature. This type of conflict is called character versus nature. To the one side there is a character, that character is prince, and to the another side there is a nature, in which the character must overcome natural situations like facing wild animals or escaping from some deserted or wild place, or natural disasters such as earthquake, or floods to solve the conflict. Correct? So there are two important things in this dialogue. One is nature, second one is that prince means the character of the story. Okay, so such type of conflict is known as simple character versus nature conflict. Correct? I hope you have understood this example also. Very nice. Next, one more dialogue is there from a story. You have to identify what the character is trying to overcome. Can you see here? You will not be able to manage beekeeping, Anita. It is a man's job, exclaimed Anita's aunt. So she said, yes, your aunt is right, agreed Anita's mother. Okay, so you have seen already this dialogue in the lesson Anita the beekeeper. Okay, we have already seen. So, what does Anita need to overcome? What is type of conflict? Okay, what is this type of conflict is called? Can you just see? Here to the one side Anita is their character, and to the another side there are other women's. Okay, there are other women's. So this is simply a conflict between character versus society. See how Anita's aunt and mother think that she shouldn't do beekeeping because she is a girl. Anita needs to overcome this view that society has about girls. This is not only the thinking of Anita's auntie and mother but of the whole society. Hence, here the conflict is between Anita means the character and the society. Just see here. Anita needs to overcome this view that society has about girls. She must act in a way to show that girls can also do all kinds of jobs. This type of conflict is called character versus society conflict. Understood? Yes, good. In which the character has a conflict with society or culture. I hope you are getting. We'll just see one more thing and we'll complete the lesson. What is the role of conflict in a story? This conflict is really very important element of any story, without which there won't be any interesting thing or nobody would like to listen your story. What happens if a story has no conflict? Do you have any idea? Just think. Just imagine there is a movie. In that movie there is no fighting scenes. Okay, there is no villain. Okay, there are no jokes, there are no songs, only simple stories there. Would you like to see such a movie? No. Then answer me, what is the role of conflict in a story? What happens if a story has no conflict? Just see here. A plot of a story is incomplete without a conflict. A conflict in story makes the story very interesting. A conflict is introduced in the rising action and gets resolved by the end of the story. Without the conflict, there will be no rising or falling action. If there won't be any conflict, if there won't be any interesting point in the story, what will be the use of rising or falling action? There won't be any rising or falling action, and the story will be flat. Nobody would like to listen such a story. Correct? Very nice. So today we have seen what does it mean by conflict in a story. Now I hope you will be surely able to identify different types of conflicts in a story. We have seen character versus character, character versus society, and character versus nature. Correct? Yes, we have seen all these examples. Now students, you have to complete homework also, which is very simple. You have to just answer two questions. Practice question 11 and 12 from the Exceed content book. Correct? Very nice. So you have to send it to me as quickly as possible on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great day to all.